Hey, friends, welcome back to another exciting episode of Show Me the Collectibles. I'm your host, Cranderq, aka my real name. As you can see, Chuck is back for another episode of Show Me the Collectibles. And if you want to be just like Chuck, check us out on Facebook at Show Me the Collectibles and send us a message because we want to see them toys, we want to see them collectibles, and we want to see that artwork. Chuck, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm up early, the time difference and stuff. And like I mentioned off camera, I was up at 3 in the morning here because of a cat. So
I feel you there. Yeah, we
yeah,
got a new puppy in our house too. So it's anytime you're bringing new animals or just dealing with animals in life,
yep.
it's always fun. We're on their schedules.
It's
So
what they want to do, not what we want to do. So,
exactly.
what kind of puppy did you get? Is it a mixed breed or
He's a mutt. Yep.
he's a
We're not exactly sure. He kind of looks like Rocket Raccoon if you
oh,
mixed him with like a wolf and I don't know, like a little teddy bear. So
gotcha. If he starts asking you to steal legs or people's eyeballs, you might want to, talk to somebody. So
right.
that's my favorite scene in that movie when he's like, "And I need that guy's leg."
I love
Probably
it.
my favorite Marvel universe is the Guardian of the Galaxy right there. So
They're fantastic. I'm a huge Groot fan myself, so I love
gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
So,
Well, you are here to show off some collectibles. We kind of got a little bit of a theme. I believe you said Nickelodeon 90s toys, kind of like that.
yeah.
So let's just jump into it.
Yeah. All right. So let me show you
Perfect.
right off of the bat my cream of the crop. This is my favorite thing that I have as far as Nickelodeon goes. It's not a toy, but I will show you. It is a 90s denim jacket
That is so cool.
with the Nickelodeon patch on the back. Now, it is a little small, so I can't really fit it right now because, how weights go. But,
Yeah, you're working out, pumping iron.
well,
I get
yeah,
it. I
I
get
mean,
it.
I'll put this thing on, but I can definitely reenact Fat Guy in a little coat with it. So, you know.
I'll be the David Spade in this. You can be the Chris Farley.
Fat guy in a little coat. Love it. But yeah, I picked this up online a long couple years ago. These things do retail for quite a bit of money, but I was able to get a good deal on it because somebody ripped the tag out. So
Okay.
it is what it is. But this is definitely when it comes to Nickelodeon. Like I'm a Nickelodeon kid. Everybody is like, "Are you a Cartoon Network kid or are you a Nickelodeon kid?" And I was absolutely a Nickelodeon kid. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Nickelodeon. I love what Cartoon Network put out there, but again, I have to side with you with Nickelodeon there. So
yeah, and it's fun because you start getting into the different types of toys that they have. And I mean, I know that like I was an Adult Swim adult, so I like the Adult Swim stuff. But when it comes to 90s Nickelodeon, when it's Rugrats, Doug,
yep,
Rocco's Modern Life, I mean, my name is Chuck, so
yep,
of course I'm going to love Chucky. So it's usually how it goes. I
yeah. Those Rugrat movies I remember seeing at the drive-in all the time. As a kid, they were always that first feature before the big movie.
Yep.
And if you kids out there or people don't know what drive-ins are, I feel really old. So
No, and trust me, there are some that are still going around. Here in Pennsylvania, we actually have two within an hour driving distance, give or
oh,
take.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. If there anybody's out there, if you've never experienced a drive-in,
Yeah,
it's awesome. So
pile in the car with all your cousins, siblings, hiding under the back seat of the Astro van,
yep,
so you can get the family rate of just one vehicle. Yeah, my
yep.
mom and aunts were schemers. All seven of us piled in the back. So
Yeah, and now they do it by car, so they don't even charge you by the person anymore.
no,
So
gotcha.
but because I think so many people did that back in the day, because we
Yep,
all like you just hide the kids under a
yep.
blanket, you know.
And then you got to roll down the window, bring in that speaker box. Oh, how times have been.
That was fun times. And then nowadays you can even like we've gone out recently to them and it's like an event. You can like flip up if you got like a hatchback, flip up the hatchback, get all the kids piled up in the back there and like bring lunches and food and stuff
Nice,
like that. So
very
it's a lot of fun.
nice.
So, but yeah, I do remember those. Do you remember the VHS tapes? The
Oh yeah,
Nickelodeon VHS tapes.
yeah. I got a few. I know I got to hunt down another copy of Harriet the Spy. That was my crush back as a kid, as well as um, Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vanessa in the Casper collection. You can watch previous episode with her,
Yeah.
as well as I think it's Race to Bear Mountain or which something mountain where they go to get some gold or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. So
I'm trying to remember. I believe that was I think it was Race to Witch Mountain, or that was the Disney one. I can't remember what it is. They all kind of blur together for me. They're all
yep,
kind of the same.
yep. So yeah, I
Yeah,
got a pretty healthy VHS collection out there of Disney and stuff. So
that's fantastic. I just loved how they always separated out the orange, so you always immediately knew like these were my Nickelodeon tapes. So,
and I'm one of those weird guys that'll like take a DVD, like the Ninja Turtles, for instance, and I've already got, say, a couple copies of it, but then there's that other cover art, and I'll slide
oh,
the sleeve out, and with Nickelodeon or some other movie, they have a red case, and I'll slide that one in there, so then I have a red or a blue or orange for Mikey and stuff.
yeah,
A little harder to find the purple cases, but when you do, you gotta scoop those up. So
I'll have to keep an
same
eye
with the
out for a purple
clamshells in
case.
Disney. I'll take a busted one and put the artwork in a brand new one, and then just so that way it looks nice in my collection. So
Yeah, and that's great because for somebody, I love the fact that like we're keeping plastic out of landfills.
mhm.
So if you can upcycle something like
Yep.
that, something that somebody would consider trash, you can literally upcycle them into art. I've been collecting the orange VHSs when I find them at like the Goodwill bins and things like that.
Mhm.
And my plan is to turn them into shelves. I want
Oh,
to like mount them up on the wall and then put my Nickelodeon toys as little shelves
that
so
is
that
so
it would
cool.
be.
And don't steal his idea, folks. That's Chuck's original idea right there. I know there is a guy out there, like kind of like I said, I do with the clamshells. I kind of he takes like the actual VHS tapes and will switch them out into color coordinated or make custom ones. So when you pull out, like, say, that Ninja Turtle, it's painted like the ooze container.
Oh
And it's like a
yeah,
little experience when you're putting it in there, like it's the ooze. So
I like that. I've definitely seen people that have taken it a step further. I've seen some people that will take they'll put them in like a shadow box and
oh,
it'll
okay.
have the VHS, and then they'll take like a toy and they'll somehow break the VHS, and it almost looks like it's, let's say it's the old Mario movie from the
Mhm.
90s with so they'll take that movie, but then they'll take like toys of like Mario and Luigi and looks like they're like busting out of it.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, and he makes it's all artsy, and I mean with clay and all that stuff, and he
Mhm.
does a really great job. I'll have to send them to you.
Very cool, very cool. Well, let's get back to those collectibles. I know we could talk all day about our childhood and having to rewind our tapes and return our library books, but
Yeah.
so
Well, as far as the when we were kids, there was a couple of things that I'm still in the market for. If you remember Nickelodeon GAC, I'm still in the market for a container of that. I'm still trying to
okay,
find
that's
one
like
of
the
those.
starfish kind of shaped one. Okay, yep, yep.
Yeah. So, but one thing that I have been able to grab, luckily at the bins, and this is something that I wanted when I was a kid, was this set. Do you remember these?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They do still talk, but I'm going to show you what they sound like because with these old sound boxes, you'd pull his belly button.
Oh boy.
That's what they sound. So if you hold them and pull them slowly, you can sort of hear what they say.
Gotcha.
You are my true friend. And then we had Stimpy, and like these are dated 1992. So
Okay.
these are OG. This one you would pull his fur ball.
Okay.
This one works a lot better. This one actually still has a voice. And funny little bit there, if anybody knows, the voice actor who does this is Billy West, who is the same voice that does Fry on Futurama.
Oh, okay. I learned something today.
There you go. Yep, that's one of my little favorite. We actually share a birthday, so
Oh, even better. Yeah,
yeah.
I know that was one show that I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid. But then when the reruns were on a little bit later, I tuned in a little bit. I just remember the French toast guy and or toast
Yes.
guy, whatever his head was, but yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh no, hang on. I don't like dead air. But where is he? I just had him a second ago. I was going to show him off.
Yeah, my parents, they didn't like the Simpsons or the Ren and Stimpy cartoons for some reason. So they didn't let me watch it, but I had like trading cards. I had a couple T-shirts with Bart Simpson, so I don't understand. Like they let me have the stuff, but they wouldn't let me watch the cartoon. So
Yeah, well, I think that it comes down to it's kind of that same thing with us. Like we've been, my son is into Cuphead. He's been watching the Cuphead cartoons, but it seems a little inappropriate for him. But it's like if I
sure.
see the toys, I guess he could have those. But it's like I don't really want him to watch the show yet, so I don't know. It's kind of
Gotcha.
a weird
Gotcha.
juxtaposition. So I had a powdered toast man toy, and I was going to show it there for a second, but I can't find it.
Gotcha.
Um, but but as far as Ren and Stimpy goes, yeah, that was always powdered toast man. And then you guys remember
Oh yes.
these were the Angry Beavers, if you remember those. So
Oh yeah. That's one that I need to buy on box set for sure.
absolutely. Now as far here he's right here, right there in front of me.
Very nice.
Yeah. So the hang on, sorry. Well, I was going to show these because we were talking about you were talking about Nickelodeon toys, but you were talking about McDonald's toys, and
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody remembers these from the 90s.
Like I'm feeling like I had something like that, but yeah, the microphones that had that weird.
Yeah, these were a set that came out in 1992.
Okay.
And they had a bunch of different models, but this was one of the. You could talk into this, and it would give you that echo effect.
Mhm.
And then, sorry,
No, you're
then
good.
they also had this one, which was another slime type toy. And this one would shoot water, but it would also have a whistle. Which I'm not putting my mouth on this because it's kind of gross, but you know. So, but these I loved. I just loved being able to talk into these. They were one of my favorite toys when I was a kid, and now I have a couple of them that I found at flea markets and things like that. So, kind of just rebuilding the collection there. So, hello.
I know with like some of the those things that you can like the loot crates and stuff, like they have themes and stuff. Like I was able to find a mini Astro Craig, the trophy that they would win.
Yes.
And I got that for like $6, and I was the king of the world. I used to love Guts, Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Yes.
Someone just 3D printed the three monkey pieces on there,
Yes.
and I've been trying to find the file because the teacher at the school I work said so he'll print stuff for us,
Yeah.
just for whatever because he gets a lot of the filament donated. And I was like, I am gonna find that file because I want like a mini, monkey statue that I can put on my shelf. I think that'd be great. Hopefully, I can solve it faster than those poor kids on that TV show. But yeah.
It was always that you'd watch them and they're like, and you're like, just put it around, turn it around. You're screaming at the TV.
Yep.
I loved Guts too. I have this. I'll show you this real quick.
Do you remember Wild and Crazy Kids? That's the other one that just popped in my brain where they had all those kids doing those. Okay, yep.
Yeah, it was kind of like Wild and Out, but it was like, for kids.
Yep.
But better than like Double Dare. I never liked Double Dare. So I always thought that like I could never compete at Double Dare. So this is the Nickelodeon Guts gold medal. And I found that at the flea market.
I am jealous.
I'm sorry. If I ever find another one, I'll let you know.
Perfect. But even if it's bronze, I'll take it.
Like, I'll take third place. I just need something.
I bet
you could. But these came out of kind of that same thing. They were out of it was called the Nick box.
Okay.
So it was like your loot crate type thing. And there's a lot of stuff in there that's actually really rare. That just fell off the shelf there. So.
Yeah, I know one Nickelodeon show that I wish they would put more merchandise out was it was that arcade game one where you could be in the video game.
Yeah, it was just called Nick Arcade.
If they could put something out like that again on TV, I think kids would like that, being able to be a part of the video games. And
I mean, with the concept of VR now, I don't see why you couldn't. You could literally have them, you could watch them as they're playing, like on a screen,
Yep.
And but it would be the kind of that same effect. That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
should definitely
remember
do it.
like being able to like preview the old NES video games back then by watching them playing. Like, oh, well, that's one we need to get. So.
And then they would give you codes at the end of the episode.
Yeah, and what was it? Rampage. That was what made me fall in love with that, was watching them play that all the time on there. The monkey and the rat and the thing destroying the buildings.
Totally. That is hands down one of my favorite games. I played the crap out of that game. I don't think there's ever an ending, though. I don't think you can actually beat it because like it just went on forever.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's one of
my
those like
brother had
Nintendo
the
games.
NES,
It's kind
so
of
I
like
get to play a lot. So
yeah. It was kind of like the Top Gun game where like I don't think there was a second level because nobody ever landed on the aircraft carrier, so they didn't actually have to make a second level. Like you just couldn't beat the first one. So
I'll have to visit that one again. I have a modded Xbox with a bunch of the NES games. So
nice.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I don't think I've played that game in like 30 years. So
it's crazy how old those games are now.
I know. I know. And especially if you can find them, like people are selling them and I mean, they do well, but it's, so, hang on one second. So a couple other pieces that I'm really excited about is I have the clock from Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh, okay.
If you remember from the beginning there. And then I was a huge fan of, I don't know if you guys like SpongeBob, but like I love Mermaid Man. Like I think Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were like hands down my favorite characters on that show, I think. So
yeah, for some reason my brother absolutely hated it, so I bought my nephews the seasons on DVD.
Yeah.
It just like, I don't know. A lot of people hate it. Maybe it's more of the younger generation. I'm not sure, but I never got to watch it because I was kind of into reality TV at that point when SpongeBob came out. So
yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It's one of those shows that like some people like you absolutely either love it or hate it. So, and my kid's now starting to get into it, so it's kind of a fun to kind of revisit it. I guess the older episodes are a lot better than the newer ones, but I feel like I say that with everything. So
yeah,
like The Simpsons, like I only watched like the first 10 seasons and that's it. Like
gotcha.
So
like turned into kind of like Family Guy with those like cut scenes all the time, and
yeah,
that's what I mean.
You can't blame them. It's whatever the audience wants, and I mean that show has been on for what 30 some years now. So
yeah,
it's like we're at what 34 years, I think. So it's like I mean it's hard to keep a show going that long. So
yeah,
but did you ever get getting back to Nickelodeon? Did you ever get slimed?
No, nope.
Oh. So when I was growing up, there was we had Paramount's Kings Island near us.
Okay.
And when Paramount bought the company, they actually switched everything over to Nickelodeon. It used to be Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
And they would do shows. They would actually do like live shows where you could get up on stage and get slimed. And that was like a lifelong goal for me as long as I was watching that. But like it never happened. So I always wondered if anybody ever got slimed. So
yeah, I know I got to go to like Universal and Disney when I was a kid, so we got to go to like the Nickelodeon when it was all painted blue and orange.
Yeah.
And I got to see a live reenactment of Doug. I was trying to raise my hand to be on stage, but my grandmother and sister were telling me to stop.
Aww.
I would have made a great pork chop, I'm just saying.
I love pork chop.
Yeah, that's why I brought up the theme before, because I saw your new thing that you found as a little pork chop.
Yeah.
And then I do have, like, I think out of the dollar store or somewhere, it's a little mini container of slime that says Nickelodeon on it.
Nice.
And I had to scoop those up just to throw on my nostalgia shelf out in the living room. So.
Oh, totally. That's where I'm trying to get. Even if I could just find like the container for GAC, I would be fine with that. Like I know at this point most of that stuff is dried up, but like I'm kind of with you. I just want to have it sitting up on my shelf. So
yeah, there's somebody out there with a storage unit that finds like a case of it here shortly.
Oh, it exists. Yeah. You can go on eBay and buy it. It's just expensive. So like people are selling them for like, $100 for the container, and I'm like, I don't want that. So I want to go cheap. I'm cheap.
I hear you 110%.
Frugal. My wife says frugal, but I'm like, I'm cheap. So.
Well, any more collectibles there for us, Chuck?
Well, I think I mean, as
Okay.
far as the other things, that was kind of the big things I wanted to I wanted to show off there a little
Gotcha.
bit. So, and like you said, I can always come back again and show off some more stuff. I'd
Definitely,
love to.
definitely, we'll have to get you in here for more. You have a beautiful collection, folks. You need to check out his TikTok. You got to check out the stuff that he puts up for sale. He's always finding treasures. I'm always like pausing that video 1,000 times just to see what he has.
Thank you.
But where can they find you, Chuck?
So I am right now at TikTok. I'm at Nerdy Nostalgia Emporium. I used to be Chuck E. Cheesy, but I am Nerdy Nostalgia Emporium, all one word. And then if you go on Whatnot, I'm actually just Nerdy Nostalgia. And that's where I've been selling my little collectibles and stuff. So if you're into this stuff, I buy for myself first. And then if I find duplicates, those are what I'm selling. So when I have extras, if it's stuff that you're into, if you like Nickelodeon, I will probably have some available for you. I've already been selling some Rugrats toys, some Doug toys. I sold a Reptar the other day. It was awesome. So,
Very
but
nice, very
thank you.
nice. Yeah, guys, again, check out those TikToks, check out those lives. When he's at the flea market, he's slinging his merch and he's going to look for stuff. I know I like to pop in there just for a few seconds while I'm working, but it's always a good time to see what he comes up and finds. And one real hard hitting question: if you had to pick anything out of your collection, if you could save one item, what are you picking? It's a hard hitting question. I know you only get one item. I think I already know the
Ooh,
answer. I think I already know the answer, but I want to see if I'm right.
I'd probably have it. It would see. It's tough.
Hmm.
Because I want to say Technodrome, but I would say realistically, the one that has like the most sentimental value is probably my original Ninja Turtle that my
Okay,
grandmother gave me.
gotcha, gotcha.
So,
I thought you were gonna go with the Monster Ate My Homework one.
oh yeah, the My Pet Monster. Yeah, I mean that is also a possibility too. That's why I said it's a tough decision because I was
You grab
blaming.
it on the way in the door on the way out.
Yeah. I'm just like, because if I had to lose sentimental value, it would probably be that. But with the sentimental value tied into it, like I was even playing into. My wife bought me a Rancor, which is a toy that I've been wanting for my
Yep,
whole life, and she bought that. That was another one that they're in my top three right
yep.
there. So I'd have to figure it out. So
Yeah, no one ever says you can't stuff things in your pockets. Those are all hypotheticals.
yeah,
And you can check out our previous episode with Chuck on our YouTube. It's under Friends of the Squared Circle, our other podcast, where we talk about the fans of pro wrestling. Eventually, we'll start another YouTube channel and maybe keep this separate. Who knows? It might just go on a Patreon exclusive. I don't know. The world is always evolving. But, Chuck, I can't thank you enough
thank
for
you.
coming on another episode of Show Me the Collectibles. And hopefully, we continue this and then you can show off those collectibles, and you never know. Maybe one
My
day we
pleasure.
can come to Pennsylvania and go toy hunting. So
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Come on over. I'll show you the bins.
perfect, perfect. Now I got to make sure to bring my gloves. So
Yes.
all right, we're gonna end it right here. And
All
it's your
right. Thank
boy
you.
Crander Q. Crander Q out.